Why you don't want to buy a house right now. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Buckle up, strap in. We got hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Let's jump back on the real estate merry-go-round and examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
No, Scott, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and reverse mortgages.
No, somebody's got to read between the lines and look. Between the economic cracks, we got some cracks to look through today, don't we? Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So today we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of whistleblowing because I know that's why most of you tune in. I do my best to entertain, educate, and inform. I'm a sales guy, so of course I got to lay it on a little bit thick. The sidewalks here, you can fill up the sides of the building. You guys engaged, but the reality is this. I'm probably one of the only straight talking real estate agents in America that's been here calling it out for what it is. A real estate bubble. Welcome to the real estate bubble of the crisis era. That's really what went on here, right? If it's not for the crisis, we're not talking. This was artificial growth, unorganic growth, overnight appreciation to never seen before highs. And the dust will settle. There will be blowback, and we will pay the piper we already are, from overheating the biggest asset class on planet Earth, the U.S. housing market. If we lose it, we lose everything. So here's the thing. You're probably saying to yourself, well, why are you here telling people don't buy a house? You're a real estate agent. Reality is this. I have multiple income streams, so I can come here. I'm willing to put you on the sidelines and earn your business later if that's what it takes. I've done that for a bunch of you. I'm working with a bunch of you right now. I've got agents with a bunch of you guys right now monitoring all of you. We got to shake the trees and kick the tires and see if properties pencil out. But most people right now, because there's recessionary fears, I mean, for all intents and purposes, we're already in one. We know that. It's an inflationary war. Inflation was the ugly byproduct of the crisis. That's just the grim realities of the waters we're swimming in. And I don't see wages all of a sudden taking an overnight appreciation and never seen before highs to keep up with the rate of inflation. Wages will not do that. So it's getting ugly out there. The reality is this. Your job right now, in my humble opinion, and when I say don't buy a house, that's not necessarily what I mean, but I say don't fall into the hands of somebody who just wants to sell you any house. Right now, my advice is to minimize risk. Live smaller than you have to. Don't go buy your dream home, the McMansion, in one of these bubble buying developments that popped up during the crisis where every one of your neighbors are bubble buyers. Buy pre-crisis property with properties that pencil out in the form of a standard amount down at today's interest rate would put your payment within its rent range. That is it, plain and simple. And that's why I'm here with you guys today, to make sure if you're my buyer, unless you tell me, hey, Scott, this is my forever home. I just want a house. And I get that a lot. Probably 50% of the people I talk to are like, hey, Scott, this is my forever home. I have no intentions of it ever becoming a rental. And I need a house. And this is where I'm looking. Can you give me a good agent in this area? Can you help me? And absolutely, I'm going to help you every single time. Every single time. But my job, because like I've always said, it's not as important to own where you live. It's just important to own. Real estate's the path to wealth where 95% of all millionaires made their money. If I want to become rich, I have to make you rich first. So that's kind of the mindset I run with. Like, hey, let's look at this house. I don't want you overpaying for this house. I put more people probably on the sidelines to keep them out of bidding wars than anybody in America. And I found myself in one of those bidding wars, I came to the table and represented you in a way that got you in position to grab that house without giving them your shorts in the process. That's what I needed to do. Now, the reality is this. We all know we talked about this early on because most agents were like, hey, this is different. That was the primary thing I heard. This time is different. This time is different. Well, I'm like, the only thing that's different, this time is worse. Bigger bubble, bigger potential blowback. And the reality is this. I've always said this. I talk to agents all the time. And of course, I had to navigate those waters kind of, strategically because they live in their own little world. They're going to sales meetings, cheerleader meetings, rah-rah meetings. Hey, everybody, this is what we're seeing is helping really buyers get off the fence right now. Get them to buy in this environment. Insanity. But one of the big ones was, the loan strength is much stronger than in the last crash. Listen, every crash had a different catalyst. This catalyst is going to be inflation and overnight appreciation and never seen before highs. They can't sustain themselves. And as we see now, the buyer pool completely shrinking with loan applications now at an all-time low. That's not a good sign. So we know that because it's now a stalemate between buyers and sellers, and you're seeing it. Leave it in the comments below. Are you seeing every weekend now piles of open house signs popping up? I am. And I'm even seeing them in these developments that were built during the crisis. People are within a year or two. They just bought, and their houses are upside down. If you're new, get subscribed. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. I show you properties all the time of people selling out of their homes they bought a year or two ago, and they're upside down. They're bringing money to the closing table. I've showed you properties. Millions of people right now are going to market with their low interest rates, and that was something most agents said would never happen. People will never sell. I just watched some other real estate YouTuber channel, and the only reason is because he had Peter Schiff on it. So I always like Peter Schiff because I think he's got his head on straight, and he's seen this movie before, and he pretty much sings the same song that I sing. 2008 was a disaster, and this is a bigger bubble that we're dealing with now. But this kid on the show, he was a young kid, single kid, and he bought his house for 6, and now it's gone on up to 7. He locked in a 2.9 interest rate, and he's never going to sell. And Peter Schiff's like, dude, why? You're locked to this house. You're tied. You don't own your home. It owns you now. Is it worth it? You're a young guy. You're not married. What if you get a job offer somewhere? You want to start a family in a different city. What if you meet a girl in a different country? Then what? Well, luckily for this kid, maybe the house pencils out. But right now he's renting out. I'm renting out rooms, Peter. I'm renting out rooms, which is smart. Like, the kid's clearly smart. He did well. He got lucky. A lot of people right now bought into houses with their low interest rate without even trying, by accident, because their agent, I can guarantee you, because I'm like the only agent that ever does this. I build investors, not home buyers. See you later. Have a nice life. No. Happy customers are repeat customers. I'm going to poise you. Hey, I checked out the property. It can stand on its own 2 feet as a rental. That's great news. So if you ever want to put a renter in here and cash flow it, I'm happy to help you buy your next one. We'll do that a few times, and within 10 years, I'll have you rich in real estate, where 95% of all millionaires made their money. How's that sound? Oh, okay, that sounds pretty good. Insanity. But here's the thing. Where I'm going with this, friends, is it's not as important to own where you live. It's just important to own. For example, this kid, this YouTuber, if his house pencils out, like I said, probably by accident it does. At the moment, I don't know for sure, but for the sake of this video, we say it does. He puts a renter in there, cash flows, and he goes and jumps into a little cracker box rental, a nice studio 1-bedroom in a nice area, and starts buying more properties that pencil out, at today's interest rate. That's the thing. People are so hung up on these interest rates, and that's the big challenge right now. And I've warned about this. This is happening now as we speak. People are selling out of their low interest rates because property taxes are going up. Insurance, to insure the home's going up. To power, heat, and bring electricity to the home is now going up. Their cost of living across the board, food, everything has gone up. And I said, I don't care if you have a 0% interest rate. If you can't keep up with the cost of living, you're going to lose the house. And here's the bigger challenge. So many people, and I watched it firsthand, with open houses with a line around the block, which was absurd to me. It was like living in an episode of The Twilight Zone. A showdown at the OK Corral, a gunfight in the Wild West. That's what I dealt with. People put so much pressure to buy the house, and you've all heard this before, and it's shocking to me. Buying the house sight unseen, remotely, over FaceTime, without getting an inspection, not knowing the health or the fitness of the house, getting into the house, having a pile of repairs, and they went above and beyond appraised values, had to bring their own money because the bank's not going to go above and beyond appraised values and overpay for the house. That's your job. So they're borrowing money from mom and dad, or pulling personal lines of equity or a personal line of credit, or whatever they have to do to bring money to the closing table. Well, now these homes are going upside down. And their low interest rate isn't saving them anymore. And if their agent didn't take care of them, even with their low interest rate, because they only put 0 or 3% down, and even with that low interest rate, the property can't stand on its own 2 feet as a rental, they only have one choice: to sell the home at a loss and bring money now to the closing table again. It's the double whammy. And that's what people are doing because they're trying to avoid foreclosure. Now, if you're smart and the banks don't like this, what you do is you write up a hardship letter. I lost my job, and it's a legitimate hardship, and say, hey, I've got to put this thing on the market. I'm on the market. You don't even tell them. Say, I'm on the market. I got an offer. I have a hardship letter with my offer, which is below what I owe for the house, and I want to submit a short sale. Otherwise, I'm walking. And if they look at your neighborhood and it's going down, they're going to take the short sale, because by the time they get me to come over and sell this foreclosure, it's going to go down another 10%. Now, they'll try to get you and play hardball and say, well, we'll do it, but you're going to need to pay all the closing costs. And you say, I don't have any money, or I wouldn't be on the market. Can't pay the closing costs. That's what happened in 2008. I watched it firsthand. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, if we're buying a house, don't buy a house if this is going to be the case. This is the only thing that's going to protect you right now if you're buying a house, in my humble opinion. You see, there's what's called the dreaded falling knife. I caught one in 2007, bought a house, watched it stuck on the market for a year. It came on at the top of its value range, and then were stuck on the market for a year, going through price reductions, kiss of death. And at that time, I hadn't lived through a recession as a bill-paying adult and suffered any blowback, so I didn't know. I heard whispers of recession, but until you've lived through one, that's why you guys are, a lot of you, these kids too, millennials, they're out there buying houses. They've heard these recession words. It's not going to happen. This time it's different. Whatever their agent told them, they believed. It didn't matter. They had tunnel vision, FOMO. They wanted a house. That house, I watched it. It came down 25%, I believe, 25% from its original list price. I was like, it's in my price range. I'll take that thing off the market. I took it off the market. Moved in. I was good to go. Well, wasn't good to go. The economy got into official recession by 2008. The foreclosures were spiking. The unemployment rate was spiking. It was blood in the streets. And that was just a recession. Can you imagine if we get into an economic depression like 1929, which a lot of economists, Peter Schiff included, are predicting? I haven't lived through a depression, either of you. Correction, yes. Recession, yet not a depression. They cycle every 100 years. We're in the 100-year cycle. Buckle up and strap in. You can't take that off the table. Anybody telling you no crash risk here, run. Don't walk, run as fast as you can. You always have to put some percentage of crash risk on any time the markets exhibit a bubble behavior, especially the U.S. housing market. So that house went upside down on me, and it had another like 20% coming. That thing, by the time I got it sold for, 35% less, maybe close to 40, 35, 40, I don't know, than I bought it for. I caught the falling knife. And here's the thing, that would have been fine, because I had other real estate rental property at that time that went down 50% in value too. But it was rental property with renters in there. So while it didn't cash flow quite as, because that's more tenant turnover, it didn't cash flow as much. It could still hold itself up. I didn't have to fire sale the thing. But this one house, my primary home, I was young, new family, kids, and I bought a house. We got a new house. Everybody's buying houses back then. It was the thing to do. And up until then, I was renting and I owned other real estate. Because I talked to an agent once, a successful agent, and they gave me some advice. They said, they rented, nice house. I'm like, you're successful in real estate. And I know you own other property. Why you guys rent? They go, we love renting. We can move anytime we want. Because here's the thing, as an agent myself, I can relate with this. Once I sell you a house, it becomes all about the house. It becomes all about the house. Every weekend you're fixing it. You got some project. But when you rent, and for me, it's beautiful because I don't have to deal with the house. I rent it. I let somebody else deal with the headaches so I can free up and go make money and manage my other investments. Now, later on in life, when I retire, I might sell off a portion, buy something outright, ride off into the sunset. But right now, my message is always sacrifice now. Be willing to live in a shoebox temporarily and ride off into the sunset later. It's not as important to own your house. It's just important to own. So if we're going to buy today, which I strongly urge you to do, I strongly urge you to get an agent if you really want a house, to go out there and shake the trees and kick the tires and throw some offers that puts the payment within its rent range. If we can find you those properties, those are great. Like, because I speak from experience. I have other good real estate that went through the 2008 recession, big crash, 50%. It was crazy. And those properties now, I don't even know what they're worth. I haven't appraised them in a long time. I got a decent idea because I work in real estate. All I know is they cash flow every single month, like a cash register. If I have tenant turnover, which is rare because like in real estate, if we're selling our home or renting the home, we find out who our competition is and we beat them. So we get every available high-level tenant or buyer into the property and we hand pick the best one and they stay put. You give somebody a discount on rents, they know they're getting a deal, so they will stay put. And now if I have tenant turnover, then I go and check and see, oh, okay, this is about the rental rate. I have a pretty good idea what my rental rates could be at in terms of market value. But then I find out who my competition is again, and I beat them. And I steal tenants all the time. Either people give notice and come to mine, or they're just actively listed. Usually they're just actively looking. And then I've learned how to, which I help my buyers do all the time. Now we got to learn how to do tenant placement, how to screen our tenants, how to hand pick high level tenants. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy who wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now, they're shark infested. Listen, the housing market, welcome to the swimming pool. I love real estate. I work in real estate. I own real estate. I've bought real estate. I've sold real estate. I've lost even some real estate, or at least did a short sale once in my entire life. I did one short sale, and I'm glad I did now. I don't regret doing it now, but I certainly don't want to go do the same thing over expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. If you're out there looking to buy right now, it's very simple. Standard amount down, today's interest rate. Can this property stand on its own 2 feet as a rental? I'm willing to look at those properties. If not, don't buy right now. Don't buy. The next thing is, if you want to continue to rent where you're at, but own property, because that's a great thing, my friends, the greatest. Because, you tell I know a lot of us measure our insides by other people's outsides. We want to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, people are like, oh, you rent? Yeah, but I own other property. I own income property, investment property. If I ever needed a place, I could always move into my rental. Now, the other thing you can do is target areas within an hour from your house, or at least within driving distance. If those areas don't pencil out in your town, or you can't buy in your town, buy something, turn it into a rental in a nearby city or town that you can drive to and put boots on the ground and look at it with an agent like me. Then we'll help you put the tenant in there and get you making money every month, and then at least you own real estate. You're in the game, because right now the window is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. We don't know what this market's going to do. It might crash, but most people are not going to go rebuy in that environment. Only the brave will, and you'll need a team. 2 heads are always better than 1. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, or simply search up Scott Walters Real Estate on Instagram. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, the biggest network, top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. Would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. If you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.
Impossible not to make money here. Plus, with the opportunity of amazing outdoor seating, you can fill up the sidewalks here, you can fill up the sides of the building. We can put more tables outside than we can inside. Come on.